Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how much money you're going to need in order to buy everything from the upcoming Be My Valentine's DLC and Grand Theft Auto Online. Alright, so while Rockstar hasn't officially announced this DLC, they strongly hinted at it on their newswire, and there's also been tons of content that we've found within the files that does suggest next month in February, there is going to be a Valentine's Day DLC. And per every update, I always try to do my best to give you guys a price prediction on how much money you're ultimately going to need if you want to buy everything from this update. So let's start with the big picture item. That's kind of the one we know so far, and that's going to be the one brand new vehicle that's going to be coming with this update. That is the Albany Roosevelt Valor, and we know the price of this is going to be $982,000, pretty much $1 million. So that's pretty pricey when it comes to vehicles, but you also need to keep in mind that that price most likely comes from the fact that it's a sports classic. Rockstar likes to put high value on sports classic cars, and also it's going to be rare. Most likely it will disappear after this Be My Valentine DLC in 2016. So I would imagine it would only be available to purchase for about 2 to 3 weeks. So if we round up and call the car $1 million with the amount of times it'll probably be blown up and have to be repaired, and also if you probably spend about $200,000 or $300,000 upgrading the car, getting all the armor, engine, brakes, and the fact that this vehicle has a ton of customization, just on one vehicle alone, you're going to be looking at $1.2 to $1.3 million just on the vehicle. All right, so this is where we're also going to reach a little bit of a fork in the road, because I believe that Rockstar is going to return the content from the old 2014 Valentine's Day DLC. That would mean that the old Albany Roosevelt would return as well, being $750,000. So if you want to add that to the list, that basically puts the car totals at $1.3 to $2 million, depending on if you're going to buy the old version of the Albany Roosevelt. I know a bunch of people do not have this car. Either they missed out on it or 2014, or they sold it through some time from 2014 up until now. So I'm going to say that in cars total, this is just my estimate, you could easily spend $1.3 to $2 million. So up next, let's talk about clothing. That's going to be the next big thing coming in this update. There are a ton of clothing items, and I'm even getting to show off a few in this video thanks to Antoine Williams. He was actually able to get some footage of like the female Valentine's Day like underwear, lingerie, clothing. So big thanks to him. That's why you're seeing this gameplay on the screen right now. And there are a ton of different clothing items as well. I'm going to be putting all like the in-game coding files of the clothing on the screen so that you can see them right now. There are a ton. I think there's like 24 total outfits for the males, 24 total outfits for the females also when you combine everything. And I would imagine that all of these would be fairly pricey. These articles of clothing would be standardly priced. So I don't know what to actually go for with this clothing. I don't know if it's going to be expensive. I don't know if it's going to be cheap. I mean, some of the items are like suit vest and suit pants. The other ones look to be like weird underwear and lingerie. So this is where I'm kind of reaching a confusing point predicting price for this clothing. I think it could be expensive, but at the same rate, since it's kind of a tiny surprise DLC, I could also see it being less expensive than normal. So if you want to buy all the clothing in all the different patterns and all the different colors, I know that's not likely, but that's what the point of this video is, to tell you guys how much money you'll need if you want to get everything. I'm going to shoot for around $200,000, maybe even upwards of $500,000 if all of this clothing is super expensive, like $10,000 to $15,000 to $20,000 each. I don't think that's going to be the case, but at the same rate, you just never know what Rockstar's pricing is going to be. And that brings us to another fork in the road because, again, we're unsure if Rockstar is going to add the masks and the clothing from the original Valentine's Day Massacre. So if they did that, I could easily see them adding another $100,000 or $200,000 onto that price range. So let's call it around $300,000 to $600,000 for all the clothing alone if you want to get every pattern, every color, and every single design. And finally, last but not least, let's talk about weapons. Now, we know Rockstar isn't going to be adding any new weapons to this Be My Valentine DLC, but there always is the possibility of adding the Gusenberg Sweeper back into the game. So that would add, once again, another tiny amount to our update. Again, a lot of my prediction depends on if Rockstar is going to bring back the old Valentine's Day content. And I do think they will, simply because of what they did with the Festive Surprise 2015 DLC, where they brought back all that old generation content on the current generation. So that's my prediction. I'm going to go with about $1.3 million to $2 million if you want to get the new Roosevelt and the old one, pending that it is going to be coming in the game. About $300,000 to $600,000 for the clothing, and then a couple $1,000s for what might be left over, including the Gusenberg Sweeper, and maybe some other little tiny surprise that Rockstar might add into the game, like accessories or whatnot that we're just not aware of yet. So all in all, I'd say if you have around $2.3 to $2.6 million, you're going to be set for this DLC, and you should have plenty of money in order to partake and purchase everything that you want to within this update. Let me know in the comment section down below how much money you think we're going to need for this update. I'm curious to hear from you guys there. Once again, if you did go on to enjoy the video, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily Grand Theft Auto 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.